25% will have hardly any symptoms and will sail through. 50% of us will have a mixed bag of symptoms that really do impact on our quality of life. Another 25% will be severely affected. And sadly we do hear of women ending their lives because they can't cope with the symptoms of the menopause. With all the publicity and all the push for HRT that it is the only solution and it's going to be the full answer and the magic wand, and it's not.
Oh, the menopause is hard, actually, I've got to be honest.
At menopause, there was a big change. My hair became a lot drier, as did my skin, and my nails became more brittle.
I can wash my hair and it's just falling out.
So how does menopause kind of affect the skin and overall appearance of women?
Yeah, the loss of oestrogen can really accelerate the ageing process for us, which is really unfair as women, isn't it? So we tend to see women, hair-wise, their hair can become much thinner, more brittle. Women lose hair. I've seen women with quite balding patches, which is obviously hugely distressing for a woman. Skin changes, we can see more wrinkles, more dryness. The opposite, some women may get more oily skin and get some spots and acne coming back as they go through the menopause, which they may not have seen since their teenage years. So yeah, that aging skin, age spots, everything seems to accelerate as we go through the menopause. Nail changes as well. You might find their nails break a lot more easily, they don't grow as well, more brittle. Well, we know there's evidence to show that collagen can be beneficial for improving all of those areas, can improve the health of our hair, skin and nails. I use collagen and I've noticed a difference certainly in my nails and my hair quality since I've been using it. It does make a difference, and there is evidence that collagen is an essential part of tendons and ligaments. It's a protein, isn't it? And protein is important for nearly every area of the body. Work from the inside out. So good nutrition is key. And we'll see that if you have somebody who's drinking alcohol or eating a poor diet, their skin will age faster and will show signs of wear and tear. They might get more puffy, they might get more lines. If somebody's smoking, that's going to have a detrimental effect on their skin, on their hair. So nurturing from the inside, good hydration, really, really important. We haven't talked about water and fluids, but water, really important. We need to be well hydrated, don't we? And then what skincare products are you using? And taking good care. Sun protection, a lot of women will use to protect the harm from the sun if we're out and exposed.
So what other supplements could be really beneficial alongside collagen to help women who are going through the menopause?
Supplement wise, put my nursing head on, my professional head on, really that vitamin D is one that is recommended. We know there's lots of research that we're allowed to say vitamin D is definitely going to be helpful for us, that works synergistically with lots of body systems. It's really, really important, and we can be quite deficient. I think I would always say diet first. Yeah. Because we need to get as many of those nutrients through our diet as possible. Yeah. But when we look at skin health, we know zinc's really important. As I said, vitamin D, magnesium, protein sources. And it really depends, doesn't it? How good your diet. Ideally, if we can get everything from our diet, but if not, we may be looking for other ways to supplement and support our health generally. Look at where are you starting from with your diet? Because we're all in a different place on that scale of maybe really not so good to being very good. Where are you starting from, and what changes are going to be sustainable for you? Because I think if we go full on into removing everything, trying to be perfect, whatever perfect is with our diet, we're never going to stick to it, isn't it? It's like the diet after Christmas. It lasts for January and then we're back to square one because we're trying to make too many changes. Here, I always say, think real food. Did it live? Did it grow? Should be the basis of your diet. Does it look like it lived or it grew? Food as close to nature as possible, rather than all the processing that takes and strips a lot of the good nutrients. When we talk about why are we supplementing, when ideally, if we're eating real food, whole food, we're going to get those nutrients from our food. So avoiding the processed food, avoiding the the sugars and things that are going to be triggering inflammation in the body, because that's a big area that can happen as well in the menopause, and why we get some of those things like joint pain, muscle pain, because of inflammatory responses that are going on in the body. So we need to really focus on good, wholesome nutrition.
Yeah.
We need to exercise in a way that's going to support our health. So we need to be, as women, we talked about lots of muscle mass and bone strength. So we've got to do exercise that supports bone density, building and maintaining muscle. Because otherwise, as we age, we're going to be weak and we're going to be frail, which we don't want. We want to be independent and strong as we age. So exercise, weight-bearing exercise, that could be running, it could be walking, it could be dancing. Things that you enjoy. Strength building exercise, it's got to be bodyweight exercises or lifting weights to build that muscle. So those key areas, really, really important.
Yeah.
When we think of other things to support our mental well-being and that stress that we talked about, stress that's going on in our life, then we add in menopause stress and all those changes that the body goes through. We need to find ways to reduce the stress on our body and protect some time for us as women, which we're very bad at. We're busy looking after everybody else and we forget to nurture ourselves. So nurturing time and things that are going to unwind and de-stress the body, which can then be helpful for reducing some of the anxiety, improving sleep. It could be yoga, it could be meditation. Some women use cognitive behavioural therapy to support that well-being, to support their mental health, reducing anxiety. It could be locking yourself in the bathroom and having a soak with candles to chill and just calm the nervous system down.
Yeah.
Things to support our overall well-being and really de-stress and calm the body down, to really nurture. And trying to, I guess, remove any toxicity from your life where possible.
Yeah.
And it, the menopause can be a really, we look at it quite negatively, don't we, as the symptoms and the health risks, but it can be a time of positive change, a time for reflection, a time for thinking, right, what serves me well now in my life? What doesn't serve me well? And what can I do to have more things in my life that are going to serve me well and look after me and support me going forward?
And I suppose almost in a way it could be like a catalyst of thinking, actually, now I should implement these lifestyle changes. I need to start looking after myself more at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it may be that you think, right, I'm going to add more protein to my diet. I'm going to start just with breakfast. How can I add protein to my breakfast?
Yeah.
Rather than having a very heavy carbohydrate-based breakfast with cereal, toast, orange juice, that's not going to give us lots of good nutrition. Do that for 6 weeks. See how you feel. What can I then build upon? It could be, let's cut out the sugary snacks in between my meals.
So what role does sleep play in terms of menopause symptoms? And are there any kind of tips that you could share on improving quality of sleep?
Yeah, sleep's a big, big issue for a lot of women. And it can start with they can't get to sleep, they can't stay asleep, or they're waking really early. And that there can be various reasons for that. It seems to be sometimes menopause it just seems to impact that depth of sleep, and we struggle. A woman might be waking because she's having a night sweat. So we talked about hot flushes, can happen during the day, but they can really happen at night, to a point where a woman wakes up and she's soaking.
Really?
And nightwear, the bed sheets, to the point of having to get up and change everything. And if you have more than one, your sleep is really disturbed.
Yeah.
So that can be waking a woman. She might need the toilet more often. We've mentioned bladder issues, so you might be waking to need the bathroom. You may have, we talked about anxiety and stresses going on, and a busy head. Lots of women will describe a really busy head that they just can't switch off. I know women, we're very good at multitasking, especially compared to men. We have all these things we can seem to be juggling. That we just can't switch that off sometimes.
Yeah.
And if we're going, all those thoughts whizzing through our head, it's really hard to switch off. If we're worrying about the day ahead, we're worrying about not being able to do our job properly, it can really impact on that ability to go to sleep. So we need to look at strategies to, I guess if we go back to looking at flushes, how can we reduce flushes? We know that diet has a massive impact on flushes. alcohol intake, caffeine intake can all have a big interplay. Women will describe, I stopped alcohol and my flushes went away.
Really?
It may be using HRT, the hot flushes have gone away, and enables them to therefore sleep through the night.
Yeah.
So what's causing the hot flushes? What triggers are there? Can we identify any triggers there? What seems to make things worse? Is there anything that seems to make it better? What can I try? So if we can remove those. Cooling bedding, a cool room, a really dark bedroom can help. Cotton, natural fibre bedding and clothing. Having sometimes a fan, quiet fan if we can find a quiet fan. Cool water by the bedside. Some women use a hot water bottle but fill it with cold ice water to cool the sheets, can be helpful. So if hot sweats and night sweats are a thing that's troubling you, that can be helpful. Getting to sleep, our sleep hygiene is often referred to. That preparation for bed is important because often we sit watching the telly, scrolling on our phones, aren't we? We're exposed to that light, that blue light, which is detrimental because it's telling the body we're awake and it's daytime, rather than dimming the lights, moving into that darker, quieter bedtime. So we want to get off those devices 1 to 2 hours before bed. And also it's not just the light, but the stimulation of what we're engaging with. If it's the news and it's depressing and it's negativity that may make us worry and concerned. It may be, you're on social media and you're constantly looking for solutions or comparing yourself to other people. Big area with social media, isn't it? And that stimulation again to our mind and our thought processes can have an effect on how we can get to sleep. So good sleep hygiene. Sticking to the same bedtime, sticking to the same wake time. 7 days a week, not just Monday to Friday, is important. So we don't want that social jet lag at the weekend when we're going to bed much later, getting up much later. We want to stay in that same routine where possible. So these things can help. Other calming, we mentioned about yoga, calming, meditation, even some deep breathing, relaxation, that nice gentle bath before bed can help put us in a more relaxed state to calm us down and improve the quality of our sleep. Other things women use is journaling. Get those thoughts out of your head onto paper. Some of those worries or things you think you're going to forget, write them down. Or have a notepad by your bed. If you wake up with those thoughts in your head, jot them down. It's out of your head, it's onto paper, you'll remember in the morning. So little tips that can really help.